Now here is a real beauty. This is a game played between Mr. Blackburn and Mr. George Marco in 1897. So it's an old game, but Blackburn is playing with white pieces, and what we're going to look at in particular is some of the brilliant moves that Mr. Blackburn does here. And as far as my information goes, he was blindfolded when he was playing this game, probably in a simultaneous exhibition. So excellent, excellent counter from Blackburn in this position in Falkbeer's counter gambit. It's just amazing. This game inspires me whenever I look at it. E4, E5, F4, D5, E takes D5, and now E4. So black pushes the pawn up to the fourth rank. Knight C3, and we have seen that this is one of the strongest continuations for white here. Knight F6, Queen E2, and so the queen is developed earlier in the game on the E2 square. The idea is, of course, to find some defensive resources on the E diagonal against the attack, and at the same time, the queen can come up to the B5 square with a check, and also can move up to this square to this diagonal here. So this is a very good square for the queen actually. Bishop c5. Bishop is developed on the ideal square. Now black is following all the right ideas. He's doing everything right. But Blackburn is such a strong player that he comes with brilliant ideas. D3. So attacking this pawn right away. Black castles, D takes E4, Rook E8. So building some pressure on this opened E file. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. Knight F3, Knight takes E4. And now when this knight goes away, of course the queen is lost, but let's see what Mr. Blackburn does here. And this is actually a very difficult position to play from. I've been in this position a couple of times, and I've lost both those games. Three, I think. Yeah, 3 games. I remember 3 games that I've lost in this position. It's a very dangerous position for white. Knight takes e4, bishop f5. Now, well, for a player of my caliber, of my rating, I would say this knight here is lost. But knight e5, bishop takes e4, queen takes e4, f6, and now, well, I would think that this knight here is lost. d6, excellent, excellent move. What a move. And you would see the point in just a minute. Queen takes d6, and now bishop e3, bishop takes e3, queen c4. This is the point of moving this pawn here to d6. Queen e6, queen c4, check. And suddenly, black realizes that if he moves his queen away, his king away to h8, then knight f7, and the queen is lost. And if the king moves to the f8 square, Do you see what happens? Can you figure out what happens? Look at this pair on f7. It's checkmate. Queen f7 checkmate. And so this is brilliant. This is amazing play by Mr. Blackburn. And so there is no other move left but queen e6 to exchange the queens. And so queens come off the board and rook takes back, bishop c4, and this rook is gone as well. F takes e5, bishop takes e6, king f8, bishop c8, a5, trying to free the rook. F takes e5, rook a6, mistake, rook f1, king e2, rook f3, bishop d4, castles, long, knight c6, and this is the decisive blunder. Bishop takes b7 and black resigns. Now this is an excellent example of a strong play here. Pushing the d pawn up to the 6th rank, and queen takes d6, then bishop e3. And the idea of bishop e3 is a little difficult to explain for me, I guess. A grandmaster can explain this idea better, but and so one possible explanation that I came up with after deeply analyzing this move is if instead of bishop e3, queen c4 is played, then note that this bishop is locked on the c1 square. And white's king cannot castle anymore. So queen e6, queen c4 check, and queen e6, and queens come off the board. But here, this bishop on c5, which in the variation that Blackburn played, has not taken on the square e3, and thence this knight here on e5 is lost because the knight cannot move, the king cannot really move to lose, or he would lose his castling rights. And so one of the moves perhaps would be to bring this bishop here, but then this knight is gone, and what else to do? There's no point in just moving the king around because anyways this knight is gone. So instead of playing this variation in which the knight is lost here, and the white king would probably come under heavy pressure, Blackburn played bishop e3 right away, giving back a piece, and bishop takes e3, and now note that this bishop is blocking this diagonal which was otherwise open for the black rook. So bishop takes e3, and now queen c4 check, queen e6, queen takes e6, rook takes back, bishop c4 with the tempo. F takes e5, fine, bishop takes e6, king f8, and bishop c8, a5, f takes e5, rook a6, rook f7, rook f1, king e8, rook f3, bishop d4, and now castling long, thence bringing this rook into play right away within one move. Knight c6 to protect, but this is a mistake. Bishop takes b7, the game is over. I hope you liked this game. I have become a huge fan of Mr. Blackburn after watching this magnificent blindfold play.